Can touch this. Can touch this. Can touch this. What's happening, beautiful people of the Grams? This is your homeboy, Jose Trujillo, baby. The one and only, the mucho macho, the Nacho Grande. What's happening? What's happening, beautiful people of the Grams? Happy Monday and stuff. Happy Monday and stuff. That it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I cannot complain about today. Today has been very generous with me. It's been very generous. I feel like all my days are generous with me. I'm like, oh, baby Jesus, why are you making all my days generous? And one can't just, I don't know, just be happy and generous. I don't know what it is, you guys. I have no idea. I just kind of do my thing, and then boom, baby, it just starts working. There's just something about it. Maybe I'm all about that love, you know. I'm all about sharing that love, man. I've been sharing lots of love. I've been sharing lots of love for years, man. I've been like sharing my love with all kinds of people, man. All artists and art collectors and yeah, I've been sharing all kinds of love. Every now and then people get like, oh my God, Jose, da 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 da. But they get all like booty about it. But what they don't get is that I love sharing love. It's kind of what I do. It's kind of my je ne sais quoi. Left and right. Left and right. I get all these beautiful messages from people. Are like, Jose, your artwork changed my life, you know. Or thank you for sharing that video, Jose. Now I'm selling my artwork. Oh my God. Or, like stuff like, dude, that's some good karma for me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's some good karma. I'm like, yeah. Yes, please. Some of that good karmic stuff. What's happening, Chris? What's happening, Tiago? Dude, what's happening, people, man? I'm doing good right here. Doing good. I went and I visited some family this weekend. Went to a Halloween party. It's a family Halloween party. I wasn't like I'm gonna get wasted. It was a Halloween party. Look at that. But it was fun. Family stuff. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I've been making some memes. This cracks me up, guys. The whole meme thing. Some people get pressed about it. I was laughing last night because some people got pressed. Even this morning, I saw some comments. People are like, "Shut up, Jose, man. I hate your memes." But they make me laugh. And I figured if they make me laugh, they're gonna make someone else laugh. It's just kind of like what I feel like it's what memes are all about. Just make some people laugh. Like ha 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 ha. It's funny. Look at that. Ooh la la. Sorry, memes. Huh, aren't they cool, Tiago? I'm telling you. Today is a worldwide holiday today, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, all I want to do is paint, man. I've been wanting to paint. But I'm glad I took a break, because a break is kind of necessary, from time to time. So I'm glad I took a break. It's like, oh, dude, even the world's greatest living artists can take a break. When I take a break, You know, it's noticeable when I take a break. It's noticeable. Not about my work or anything like that. It's noticeable because people are like, Jose, where are you at, man? Um, but dude, sometimes I take a break because I'm the world's greatest living artist. Even the world's greatest living artist needs to take a break from time to time. I'm like, chill, guys. Chill. We were laughing so much last night, says my wife, Zeddy Grams. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah, about the memes, yeah, people were like making us laugh. My wife was sharing some of those memes with me, some of the funny memes. It was hilarious. I still remember the one about me giving advice to my friends. That's the one that cracked me up the most. I think that one made a few people laugh. Some people sent me like lols and like laughing faces out of that one meme. You know, people love giving advice to their friends. You know, they're like, oh man, let me tell you about life. Oh shit! So, some of those memes are just hilarious. People are funny, man. That's all. You know, people are just funny. ¿Qué onda, Jessica? ¿Qué onda? Te caíste de la cama horriblemente, Jessica, horriblemente. Yeah, there's been a few good ones. What's happening, Jay? Oh man. Dude, I'm gonna live this world as the artist who gave so much, dude. I'm gonna be that artist. I'm gonna be the artist who gave so much. Dude, I give so much. I give so much away. It's bananas, man. It's just bananas. Like I just lay it out there. You know how many artists are never gonna share anything with you? They just won't. They'll never share anything with you. They're afraid, right? They're afraid, rightfully so, but they are. They're afraid. Artists are afraid of people like, you know, taking their ideas and da 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 da. Like artists are all afraid of that. I talk to a lot of artists, professionals, right? I'm not talking about like weekend warriors. I'm talking about professionals. Professional artists are afraid people are gonna take their stuff, and so they go into hiding. Dude, I know some artists who do so well, but you probably never even heard of them. Because they go in hiding. They go into hiding. And I've talked to them, and when I first reached out to them, they were even skeptical about talking to me. They're like they don't even answer. They don't have an Instagram account. They don't put their shit out there. They just don't. They don't. They go into hiding. And I always thought about that. I'm like, man, why are these people going into hiding? Why aren't they helping out like other artists? And then I realized why. Right? Rightfully so. They're afraid. They're afraid people are gonna be like, you know, taking their shit. Because a lot of people do take their shit. But also at the same time, when you do share, you learn and you get more if you do it correctly, right? If you do it with the right way and you do it correctly, you do get more out of it. You get more karma, like good karma out of it. But I always wonder, man, how come artists like go and hide, dude? They start doing something and they go and hide. You know, they start selling their work and they go and hide. They start getting a little bit of success and then they go and hide. I'm like, why? I remember when I started, I was tempted of doing that. I remember my wife was like, hey, we should show this or we should do that. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to show any of that. No. And one day I was like, dude, what am I doing? What am I doing, man? What am I doing? Why am I not? You know, because if you start doing something, people start reaching out to you and asking you questions. And when you're starting out and you don't know what you don't know, you think you have some sort of secret sauce. And to a certain degree, you do. And so I think that that's what gets artists to go in and hide. But not Jose, dude. Jose doesn't hide, man. Jose's like all over the place, being like, dude, I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna make some videos on this. I'm gonna make some videos on that, man. Sharing all that love. You know what I mean? Jose, do you let your paintings fully dry before you take a picture of them? No, I take a picture of them like that. I'm like, boom, just take a picture of it. No, I don't wait for certain things. You know, I just kind of move, and I keep moving, and I keep moving. I don't like waiting for processes that just they don't make any sense. So, for example, if I was going to take pictures of my work, I would take them as soon as I finish painting them. Now, if you're playing with something like acrylic or watercolor, that of course I would wait a little bit for it to dry. But an oil painting makes no sense. Why? Because it takes weeks to dry, so I can't wait for weeks before I get before it dries. And again, right? Everybody does it differently. I just kind of I'm the type of artist who shoots and then aims. I'll shoot first and then I'll aim later. It's just the way I've done it. It's the way I've done things. It's helped me. It's removed perfectionism. It's removed procrastination. I've been able to do so much in such a little time because of that. And that's not something that I started doing right away. It's something that I trained myself to do. It's not easy. Most artists, I would say, are professional procrastinators. I would say most artists are professional procrastinators. Even the busy ones, there's so much procrastination happening. I've learned this throughout my years as a pro. Even the busy ones are professional procrastinators. Why? I know artists that work a lot but don't know how to pull triggers. I know artists that will work very, very hard, but they still procrastinate because they won't do that art show because they're afraid of losing time on something else that's working. They won't buy those Facebook ads or those Instagram ads, or they won't do certain things where you need to pull that trigger. Let's see. Lizette says you have to wait 6 months before varnishing oil for reals. Hello, said, do you recommend? Okay, that one. My wife answered that one. Very cool. Kill It Teams, Hetty, yeah. Paint dries a little darker. It sure does. It sure does dry a little darker. But you know what? People that are buying my work and know my work, they already know what they're getting. They already know what they're getting. All paint dries a little darker. It doesn't matter what type of paint it is, because when you apply it, of course, it's wet. It's wet, right? So there's more light bouncing. But yeah, it's not a big difference. It's not a very big difference from wet to dry. It's just, maybe with acrylic, I don't know. It's something that I've never really focused on. I don't like focusing on things I can't fix. Like, that's something that I can't fix. How could I fix that? How can I fix that? If I'm in the business of painting and selling artwork, and I can't fix that. So anything I can't fix, I just don't focus on it. I just don't. I can only focus on things I can fix and I can have control over. That's one of those things I just don't have control over. Another thing I don't have control over is your monitor. Everyone's monitor shows light in a different way depending on how you have it set up and whatnot. Everyone's phone shows things that's slightly different. I can't control that either, and so I leave it alone. Anything I cannot control, I leave it alone. I don't even. Yeah, no, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary work. And so that's how I do it. Now, this doesn't mean that that's how every artist does it or how every artist should do it. That's just how I do it. I put zero time on anything I cannot take care of. I completely avoid it. I look the other way, and I focus on only the things I can take care of, and I go hard on those. And that's how I've been able to do it. Look at that. Oh la la, look at that. Look at that. Boom. Yep. How's it going? How's it going, Melody? What's happening? This is going well. Yeah, we do not varnish any paintings. That's another thing that happens when you varnish paintings. You change the sheen as well, right? You're adding sheen to it. Every time you add sheen to something, you make it darker, by the way. Okay, the glossier it is, the darker it's going to get. Anytime you add sheen to something. It doesn't look that way, huh? Because it looks like it comes to life. What's happening is you're making it darker. How do I know that? I worked in paint companies that have in the past that formulated different types of sheens and different types of varnishes, and I was their main enchilada when it came to testing the products on various surfaces, and so I spent some time in my life doing that, and so I know that for a fact. Whether it's water-based or oil-based sheens, it will make them darker, and that's why it looks like it's coming to life. It's not because it looks. It's not just because it looks wet. It's because as you're adding that, you're making it darker. It's darkening. It just is what it is. I don't do it. It's not a lot. It's not like you're hurting the picture or anything like that. No, I just don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. It's another step again that's going to add to the cycle of me getting from the completion of my painting to getting it to my collector. It's just another thing that's going to add more to the cycle. And quite frankly, paintings don't get varnished by any artist, especially back in the day. They only got varnished by museums. Museums started varnishing paintings in order to protect them. And the reason why they started doing it was because they turn into assets, right? And so museums started doing that, but artists never did that. And now it's a trend that all artists want to do that, but artists never did that. When an impression is made, a painting, a Monet, a Van Gogh, whatever, they didn't go and put sheen on it. That wasn't modus operandi. They didn't go and varnish it because they knew that the museums or the galleries were going to take care of that. For some reason, we're taking on a lot of the jobs that belong to museums and galleries, and so I let them take care of that stuff. I'm like, dude, I ain't doing that. You do that. You know. Let's see. Building a parachute on the way down is the only way, baby. Yeah, pretty much. You know, as long as you don't kill yourself, right? As long as you don't kill yourself, you got. It's also about knowing how to take risks, right? I think it's also about knowing how to take risks. But essentially, that's what it is. That's the plan. Essentially, that's the plan, my friends. That is the plan. The planet. Captain Planet and the Planeteers. All right, let's do another one. I'm going to do another one just because I feel like it, you guys. Man, this is a good painting. What do you guys think? Was this good or what? Dude, this was amazing. By the way, I will be auctioning this painting. This and other paintings will be auctioned via the eBay site. The link is in my profile. Boom. So let me go get another one. Another canvas. Dude, Sonic, shut up, dude. I don't need none of that, dude. I don't need none of that right now, Sonic. Cállate la box. Look at that. But yeah, this is it. This is what I'm all about. So, ooh la la, ooh la la. Looks like an abstract town. Nice. Thank you so much. What's happening, Diana? But I always remind collectors that they need to wait for the painting to fully cure. Yep. It's true. Lizette says most framers will varnish and it allows collectors to decide what kind of gloss they want. Very true. See, my girl knows what she's talking about. Anyone here painting the edges? That's another no-go here. Yeah, I mean, it just depends, you know. I started this whole thing about don't paint the edges on my end because I saw every artist was doing it, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna do what everybody else is doing. Like, you know, why am I gonna go do what everybody else is doing? It makes no sense. The whole, you know, if your customers want their edges to be painted, paint them, guys. My customers didn't want my edges to be painted. Every now and then someone would ask me, but then I would be like, no, that's just not. It's gotta go with your rhythm. Thank you, baby. It's gotta go with your rhythm. Like if you're. It's gotta go with your rhythm. If you think your paintings would look better with the edges painted, like do it.
It depends on if you paint volume or not.
Yeah, if you're doing 1 or 2 paintings, and you're doing them. By the way, if you're doing them larger,
larger paintings, yes, preferable.
Larger paintings preferable. But if you are a gallery artist, you might not want to do that. If you're a museum art, I mean, it has to be true to you. Don't just do stuff because it sounds right for someone else. Like, it's got to be true to you. We paint edges here. I paint the edges of some paintings. You guys just don't know. If you don't buy them, you don't know. But we paint the edges of some paintings because they make sense there. I don't paint the edges of all paintings, but some of my paintings we do paint the edges. And so when people hear me saying that I don't paint the edges of these little paintings, well, no, because these are going to be framed. But larger paintings, some of them I do paint the edges. It just depends. It has to be true to you. Yeah, it has to be true to you. I don't feel there's a need unless the canvas is 2 inches and up. Otherwise, can be just framed. Exactly. That's exactly what we do. And so it's got to be true. It's got to ring true to you and to your customers, right? It's got to ring true to you and to your customers. I have some friends who never paint any edges, and their work looks amazing. And if they would paint the edges, their work would look crappy and commercial. It would look commercial and just crappy. And so the fact that they don't paint the edges, even on the thick paintings, makes their work appear very much museum quality. And so it just depends. That's why I say, hey, you know, figure out what rings true to you because it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. Look at that. Look at this landscape. Oh my God, this landscape is so great, Jose. You're an amazing artist. It's so true. It's a trend for people on framing their work and hanging the gallery wraps. Yeah, they look nice. You know, they look nice. But they also, if you're not careful, you know, and if that's what you want, that's fine. But I personally don't like it because for me it ends up making them look like a canvas, what are those called? Gallery wrapped canvas prints, and I don't like that look. And some people do, and they beg me to do it. They're like, please, Jose, can you paint the edges? Sure, why not? I'll do it, but preferably I don't like doing it because it doesn't. It takes, to me, it takes away the.
Sometimes they look like prints you get at
like cheap prints you get at Target, no?
Yeah.
Sometimes they look like that, and they look cheap. It just looks cheap. It doesn't look like something you made with your hands. See, what a lot of artists are doing is that their objective is for it to look like it came out of a printing machine. My approach is different. My approach is the opposite. It needs to look like you actually worked on it, because that's the value. This is the value. This is the value. If there is no sign of this, in my eyes, you're in trouble. In my eyes. This is what makes the painting valuable. This is why original style is so damn important. This is why my own vision is so damn important. This is why my own palette, my own themes, my own work is so damn important. This is why it's so damn important, because it's got a lot of this. The less of this it's got, the cheaper it's going to be perceived. Because you're talking about original art. You're not talking about yeah. Anytime you try to make it look like something like oh yeah, it's I don't know. Anytime you're trying to take your hands off of the thing, you know, and make it look like something else or someone else or whatever, you're messing with the originality, which is the only factor. The only reason people care about it is the originality. Do you think people would buy artwork from you if it wasn't original? Try to sell a print that size. Try to sell a print this size. I dare anyone, I challenge anyone to go and sell a print this size. Sell it. As a matter of fact, paint something original that took you some time. This is the ultimate test. Put it on eBay and start it at $1, and then print it. The same thing, print it. And make it look really nice, print it and whatnot, and put it at $1. See what happens. It's the ultimate. And the reason I'm saying is because I've done that myself. I've tested that. I've spent years testing different things. Go test that and see what happens. People do not care about things that are not original. They just simply won't pay for. They won't pay for them. They don't care about it. This is why I spend so much energy telling artists, dude, focus on you, work on you. The more you work on yourself, the more you work on your art, the more you develop a personal style, the better it's going to be for you in the long run. Because people love that. The only reason, when we buy an art piece, what do we look for, Lisette? Every now and then that we buy something. She's on the phone. Hey, babe. Don't let me hanging, man. Like, you're on my live now.
Well, I was gonna say too, like, there's industry standards, right? Like, there's gonna be industry standards, like signatures in the back of paintings, making sure to date, like provenance, like.
Right, but for example.
But wait, let me finish.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think people forget that art is one of those places where if you have a personal style and a preference for how you want to do something, you can set the standard and the bar for what you feel is appropriate for your work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, for example, when we buy something from RF, what are we looking for?
That his RF has.
Even his original stuff, we look for his original stuff.
Yeah, like there's a skill, there's a thing that RF can do when it comes to like dimension and capturing a space that is really rare. Like RF can capture a moment, a space.
Yeah, in a very small space, huh?
Like the way that he creates like space, like that spatial thing that happens, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like blown away all the time. And when I see that in one of his paintings, I'm like, if I could just buy that and have it, it's crazy. He does beautiful work. And he has like it's his, right? Like his style, his look.
Yeah, a lot of people paint horror stuff, but no one does it like RF. RF does a very original stuff, and so
I'm a true fan.
we own a couple of his pieces, and when we look for his work, we're always looking for that originality that we know. And I know that when people look for my work, they're looking for that. They're looking for that thing that
That thing that says that it's a paintborn. That thing that he does so well.
right? That says, okay, that's an RF paintborn. That's not, it's not another generic painting, it's an RF paintborn. That's what we look for when we purchase his work. And that's what we look for. That I know that's what people look for when they're looking for any work. They're like, is this an original Trujillo? Is this an original? What makes it so? And it's those things that you do with your hands. It's those things. And so I encourage artists, man, go and put more of your hands in there. Because that's what makes you original. I've been barking about this shit for years. People don't believe me, man, but this is what makes your work so damn valuable. Pictures, disposable art. Yeah, you don't want to make it look like disposable art. You don't want that because you don't want to make it look like everyone else's. You don't want to make it look like they could buy your work and they could buy someone else's and it wouldn't make that much of a difference. You don't want that. Now, when you're starting out, I get it. That happens because you're learning. But as soon as you start understanding, run away from your work looking like someone else's. People don't get this and they think I mean it in a mean way, but I don't. Run away if it looks like mine. Run away if it looks like anyone else's. Run the opposite direction. Because you'll never catch your own. You
mean capture?
Capture, yeah. You'll never capture your own essence, and your essence is what people are wanting. Your essence, the thing that you do, that whatever that thing is, you need to capture that because that's going to be the reason why people are going to chase you and your paintings, and they're gonna wanna pay more for your paintings. They're gonna wanna collect your paintings. And that's what makes it so damn cool. It's the originality of your work, the way that little things that you do. I remember I was reading about Andy Warhol and his dotted lines. You know how much those things cost? Because everybody knows that he did them, even though he had a lot of people working for him. People know that he was the one who was doing the dotted lines. When he folded a piece of paper and he would do the dotted line, those things are insanely expensive because he was putting his signature in it. You know, his signature hands, right? Whatever he was doing with his hands, the way he felt like he folded the paper, all of that adds to the piece. All of that means that the piece is it's valuable. If you're not doing that, if you're not focusing on you, you're making the trip longer, a lot longer, to get there. You're making it, and people, some people might not even get there, man. Like I know a couple of artists who have been doing this work for a long time, and still haven't grown. Still haven't grown. Still in the same place. Still in the same area. And it's because they're not paying attention to. So anything that you do, make sure that it makes sense to you. Make sure that it makes sense. Make sure that it goes with what you are doing. For example, again, I don't paint the sides of all my paintings, but I do paint the sides of some of them. Some of them I do paint because it makes sense to do it. It makes sense to do it. And it's not just because it's thicker. It may appear that way. It's not just because it's thicker. It's just because some pieces demand it. Some pieces just makes sense. I need to do them in some pieces. Look at that. Oh la la. Look at that painting. What's happening, Artsy Fartsy? Good morning. I love that name. Artsy Fartsy.
Boundaries are healthy. That's like a great space to practice. Like, what are boundaries for you in terms of what you have? Like, you should always deliver quality.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that will spread you thin.
Yeah.
Like, it would not make sense for us to paint the sides of every auction.
Right.
We send too many auctions out.
Right.
So what's the priority? The quality of the canvas, the quality of the painting, and getting it out on time.
Right.
So
we look for the priority and put boundaries in there.
And so painting the sides is not going to happen. It's, first of all, they should be painted. I agree with the person who said, you know, anything thinner than 2 inches,
right,
it gets put in a frame.
Right.
And secondly, it just doesn't make sense when you're talking about where you're going to deposit the time of yourself and the people helping you.
And some people don't want to paint it on the sides. They think it looks tacky.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you have to develop an ear for your clients, and you have to develop some boundaries for the clients that are extremely demanding where you can't.
Actually, no, I don't want that to happen with that piece.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it is your customer who's right, but also if you don't put boundaries, you are going to be thrown around, and you're going to lose control of your work. You're going to lose the control over your work. And so I highly encourage that. Put some boundaries. And also, it's a dance. Everything's a dance. Nothing is absolute. There's no such thing as I don't do this, I don't do that. No, nothing is absolute. But there are boundaries, and there are some times that we do certain things, that even things I don't want to do, I'll still do it because I want to make people happy too. Some of my customers I really want to make happy. Some of my customers, yes, I really want to make them happy, but I don't want to bend backwards either. For some of the things, right? I just can't. It's not viable. I couldn't do that for every single person. Sarah says, maybe this is the most important thing, that artists don't want to show their works to amateurs because they have worked out to get to that point of view. Yeah, that does happen a lot. This is one of the reasons why artists don't like sharing. I know a handful of artists, okay? Personally know them. First name basis. Like, hey, I can give them a call and be like, what's up? People that are doing really great. People that are not just monetizing really great, but that I know that they're doing really great in terms of their dream job and as artists, and of course monetizing, selling either hundreds of thousands of dollars or a few $1,000,000 a year, that you will not see their name anywhere. They don't show themselves anywhere, and especially the ones that are earning a few $100,000, because they're afraid of people copying them. They just don't. And it's not about them being afraid of people copying them because people are going to take market share from them or whatnot. Some of them probably. It's mainly because it took them so much to learn how to do a particular thing. They won't even do YouTube videos or anything like that. You don't see those guys doing that. I'm the only crazy one doing shit like that. As a matter of fact, they send me, they text me or call me from time to time to make fun of me. Like, you're still doing that shit, man? Because people don't like showing their stuff. They just don't. Okay, uno más. Usually the only ones showing their stuff are like YouTubers or influencers, and most YouTubers and influencers, for the most part, are not hitting those types of sales or that type of I don't know, professional success or whatever. Like I said, I know a couple. I know an Israeli artist. You never see this guy post anything, not even a post on Facebook. And this guy's making some serious income. He just doesn't show anything. And he won't show you how to mix colors. He won't show you nothing. And again, I think it's that whole, that whole mentality of man, it took me a long time to learn it. Why am I just gonna throw it out for everyone to get it? It's just this, you know. People have different philosophies. Here, let me start another one. I'm gonna start uno más. Uno más. Uno más. Here we go. Boom, baby. Uno más. Uno más. Love that. Such a cool landscape. Yeah. Yeah. People just do. People do things differently. I have an artist friend here from Tucson who does gallery shows, and some of them pretty big gallery shows, pretty nice stuff. He doesn't even have an Instagram account. He's so paranoid about copycats. He makes me laugh. Oh, he's so paranoid about that because he's a purist. He's one of those artists who are a purist. You know, he mixes his own paint. He's so paranoid about that. He's very jealous of his work. That he just and people would say, "Oh no, those artists never do anything great." That's not true. That dude is doing really great. But it's just the way he works. He doesn't like showing anything. Has been moments where I've gone to his studio and he doesn't let me come in. And one time I was joking around with him and I took out my phone and I pretended I was going to record his studio. He actually got upset. And I was like, dude, I was just joking with you. People, I find that working artists are very jealous of their, and I know a couple others too. Some of them you may know them, that I personally gone to their studios here from Instagram, and they're very jealous of their work. They won't share shit. They won't share shit. It's just the way. It's the way it's the way they work, and I think that's good. I think people do their own thing, and you know whatever works for them. For me, I started sharing a lot. I mean, I share to the point where I'll tell you what my palette is, how to mix it, and whatnot. And some people say, "Oh, I could have found that on my own." No, it's not that easy. It really isn't. You can't really figure it out unless someone's walking you through it. Some of the stuff artists do. It's not as easy, and it's not because it's difficult. It's because it's complicated, not difficult. It's complex, not complicated. It's complex. Some stuff is complex. It's like, wait a minute, how do you do that thing? How do you mix that? Why did you put oil on the canvas and on and on and on and on? And so I personally like sharing stuff because I feel like the more that I'm putting myself out there, the more that other people get to benefit from it. But it's a double-edged sword. It comes with its benefits, and it comes with its downside too. The downside I've experienced, and I've talked about it many times already. You develop a bunch of copycats. That's the downside. The benefit is that people are very happy and grateful that you're sharing your methods and that you're sharing things that not every artist out there is sharing. Especially when it comes down to nitty-gritty stuff, you know, or marketing, or most people will tell you, hey, just go out there, get out there. But I'll actually tell you step by step some of the shit that works for me, that I've done. That's gotten some artists, without ever paying me a single dime on a coaching session, that's gotten some artists to earn up to, I don't know, a few $1,000s to six figures. I know an artist who earns multiple six figures just from watching my YouTubes. By the way, he'll never share anything with you guys. He's also paranoid, which cracks me up. I'm like, dude, you learned everything from me on a free platform, and you're extremely paranoid. It's hilarious. What he's protecting style. No, I think some artists are just very jealous of their work, their process. It might not be the style, it might be the process. And artists are like magicians. They take it as a magic trick. If you're not protecting your art, you may be protecting your marketing approach. The artists are always protecting something. I don't believe it when artists say, "Oh, I don't care. People can know that." You may not care about your artwork. You may not, because some artists are more marketers than artists. They might not care about their artwork. But I find some of them are very protective with their marketing approach. They'll never tell you how they do a Facebook ad, or they'll never tell you where they get their traffic, or actually how they get their traffic. They'll never share anything like that with you. But they'll share with you how to make a painting. I know an artist that I personally coach from Australia. He'll show you how to make a painting. He won't talk to you about specific marketing tactics. He just won't. He won't, because that's how he eats. Why is he going to share that for free? You know, that's how he puts money in the food on the table. And so it's give and take. It's people do things differently. Let's see. Have you thought about other platforms to sell other than eBay? Yeah, I do. I sell my artwork on various platforms. Lately, I've been getting more into selling digital art. That's been a lot of fun. I've been telling my wife, man, I need to focus on this digital art thing, man, because I've been selling digital art lately. It pays a lot more. It's paid me a lot more than eBay auctions, than commissions, than digital art is something that I'm tapping into. We're gonna get into NFTs too. I'm not doing NFTs yet. I am selling digital art, but I haven't gotten into NFTs. But it's something that I hadn't tapped into. I didn't know how to do it. I got introduced. A Hollywood actress actually introduced me to it. So I got my foot into a Hollywood agency. But then I started looking at other places, and I started realizing that I could get paid simply for sharing my images. Give me a second, guys. I gotta open this door for myself. Okay, thank you, Sonic. Thank you, Sonic. Thank you. Yes, I know Marcelo, but yes. Yeah, so that's been really cool. Looking into NFTs, pretty interesting stuff. I know, I've been looking into it too. I'm like, oh my god, dude, NFTs. I don't understand them yet. Esther, and I were talking about it last time. She was saying how I think she was mentioning about how she doesn't get them. She doesn't get it, and not she doesn't get it because she's not smart. She was talking about them in a very I know Esther's smart. You can tell someone's very smart by the way they communicate, and I know that she understands what's it about. I think that what she's saying, or what she was saying, was along the lines of what I was thinking. I don't understand how to trade it yet. I don't understand what's the value. What's that, Marcel? Good morning. What's the value outside of just its originality? Because you can claim anything is original and be like, this is one of a kind. Well, yeah, you can pick up a rock on the floor and say it's one of a kind. It doesn't make it valuable just because it's one of a kind. So a lot of people out there think that one of a kind means it's valuable. That does not mean it's valuable. Okay, just because it's one of a kind. You can pick a leaf from a tree and it's one of a kind. It does not mean it's valuable just because it's one of a kind, just like a rock. There is not another rock exactly like it, but it does not mean it's one of a kind. It's valuable just because it's one of a kind. And so I've been thinking about that lately, and I'm like, man, how do I approach this NFT? So anyways, I've been reading about it. I've been watching videos. I've been learning about NFTs, and I'm gonna get into the game. I am gonna get into the game. I have a friend who's pretty much an expert on the whole thing, and he's gonna coach me. He's gonna coach me into it, yeah, he's gonna coach me about NFTs, and we're gonna think about various ways of approaching the market, the NFT market. But I'm not there yet. I'm still in the learning curve of it. We're gonna start doing some trial and error things, but I'm still in the learning curve. What I am into right now is art licensing. I am getting into it. Those of you who know me, you know I've been talking about art licensing for a while. I used to do it back in the day, but I never really got much out of it. So I was like, yeah, guys, art licensing is shit. But lately, the way that I've been approached about art licensing is night and day. It's a whole other thing. It's a whole other game. I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. Art licensing is like, yeah, that shit pays really nice, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked on the whole art licensing thing. No way smart. Just how? Oh, there's Esther. Nowhere smart. I just having issue. It's fad buzz rather than new concept investing product too. I think you're smart, Esther. What is NFTs? No clues. There's non-fungible tokens. Let's see. Yeah, NFT seems a pretty interesting thing. I know Gary Vee's been talking about it for a long time. Encryption, cryptocurrency is real. That's happening, but I'm not sure what the government and banks will support. Yeah, who knows how that's going to go. I have a friend who's into the whole Bitcoin thing. As a matter of fact, I kicked myself in the ass because maybe a year, 2 years ago, no, it was more like 2 years ago or so, I was, people approached me that they wanted to buy some of my artwork, but they wanted to buy it with Bitcoin. And I talked to my friend who knows about that, and he's like, "Oh shit, man, you should have taken that. That actually could have made you a couple of milli today, if you were taking that." And I was like, "Well, I was an idiot." So I missed out on a couple of nice G's, on a couple of millis, because I didn't know shit about it. I didn't trust it. But I know the person who offered to buy the artwork was a trusted buyer. So he's bought artwork from me before, and he's bought artwork in on the higher end of things, right? Commissions and whatnot, and large pieces. And it's not because I didn't trust him. Of course, I trust him and I trusted him. I just didn't trust the currency. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from it because I don't understand any of it, which goes to show sometimes it's okay to know something, because I'm very much about, look, don't stay away from it if you don't know it, which has helped me a lot. But also, if you know something and you're sure of something, I mean, by all means, go for it.
Is this acrylic or ink?
It's acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah. Go for it if you know something, because you might be missing out. Like I missed out on some of that Bitcoin moolah. Yeah. And so this friend of mine started, sharing with me. This is stuff that you can Google, but it's all over the place. And a lot of it is speculation. This guy actually knows about that. He knows about the mining process and all of that. And so he shared with me the whole thing in, like, I don't know, a couple of years and about 6 hours of time. And I got to understand a little bit of it. I'm still very confused, but I got to understand a little bit anyways. I got excited that I was like, dude, we should get into mining. I remember telling him that. We should get into mining. Oh man! Then I learned that it harms the earth a lot, because of all the electricity the computers are using, And so I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to get into that. And I love money, but I don't know if I want to fuck up planet Earth doing it. Let's see.
Towels. You need toilet paper, right? Or
No, it's in the back of the car. Remember?
Yeah, I gotta go run and grab Scotch tape.
Okay.
I totally forgot we needed that.
Cool. Let's see. They have their hands all over it soon. Yeah. I want to do art licensing, but don't know how. Art licensing is probably the single best thing I would recommend artists who are working artists to get into. Art licensing is something that I've been barking about for a while. But honestly, the gigs that I've gotten, you don't go to them, they come to you.
The pictures came out so good.
It's a trust thing. I think it's because they trust you. You have enough followers on Instagram, or they see you enough on YouTube, or you know, because the people that have contacted me start out the line by saying, Jose, I've been following you for years. And so that means that they've been following me enough to trust me. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're just starting out, I would say go learn about it, read about it, and whatnot. But it could be a squirrel also, because I know that it was a squirrel for me in the beginning. It could be a squirrel because most licensing deals don't pay shit. You'll get licensing deals that are like, yeah, we're gonna sell your work and just send us 10 images of this or that, and they don't pay shit. There's lots of licensing agreements out there that people are willing. The thing is that they get paid because they're adding artwork to their huge library. They're doing what's called the long tail game. The more product I put out there, the more I get seen, the more da. I started doing that when I first started. Notice, those of you who know me, notice that I haven't done that anymore. My art store is not bigger. Because that's what I did in the beginning, and I thought that was the way of doing it, and it certainly helped me in the beginning. But after I started learning more, you'll notice that my works haven't grown for a long time from 4,000, I think it was 4,000 items at most that I put at some point. I got less items now in my stores because I'm not trying to do the long tail game anymore. I don't see the money in there anymore. But in the beginning, I thought that was going to help me. And what it did is that it taught me how to do something else. But a lot of these licensing deals, that's what they do. And so if you're frantically creating artwork because you're playing the long tail game, I don't want to stop you. Go do it. But that's a curve you're going to have to learn on your own. I certainly have taken the time to do it, and this is why you won't see me growing my stores anymore like that. I'm not interested in growing them like that, by volume only. Because there's you start finding out things, right? You start finding out things that work for you, things that don't work for you, or anyways, that's what those licensing deals do. They play the long tail, meaning if I go on Kohl's or on Target.com and I'm the one who has 30,000 art prints, I might sell 10 of them a day. And so every time I sell something, I'll give you $2 or $5. But remember, they're doing that with 30,000 pieces, and that might be 20,000 artists. That means you're getting shit. You're getting nothing out of it. I played with licensing deals that do that, and I didn't like it. There's no money there. And so the licensing deals that have worked for me are the ones that when they approach me, and now I have some experience and I know how to kind of, fish them out. But when I didn't have any experience, I was just taking them, but most of them don't go anywhere because of what I just explained to you. The ones that do go are the ones that are not posting out there, I need artists. No, they're the ones that go and look for you. in my experience. They're the ones that go look for you. The ones that are posting "I need artists," they're doing the long tail game for the most part. And so that's something that I've learned. What I would recommend any artist is keep working, guys. Good things happen. Good things will start happening if you just keep working. Put your head down for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and just create and keep working and keep getting better. Keep getting better, and put your head down. A lot of people don't know how to put their head down. Lots of people don't know how to do that. They want things to happen now. Something happen now. You might not be ready for it. You might not know how to paint yet, or you might know how to paint, but you don't have a particular style. Your work might look like everyone else's. By the way, this does not mean that your work cannot sell. I know this dude that's been mimicking my style for a long time. His name's Jose Lima. He's been selling on eBay, and some of his works go for $400 sometimes. This doesn't mean that you can't sell. You just got to find where, right? Where is the place that you can actually sell your work, and what works for you. This doesn't mean that you can scale it either. You might not be able to scale it, because I know eBay, it's not a scalable place, but at least the works are being sold. Just putting it out there. Let's see. I've done Fine Art America, no money. Yeah, no. It's because Fine Art America is a printing company. It's not a licensing company. They hide they pretend to be a licensing company, but they're a printing company. Uno más, baby. Uno más, little baby. So a licensing company is not a printing company. There's a difference. A printing company, the artist is the sucker. You know, if there's a print, if you go and take your artwork to a printing company, you're the client. If you take it to a licensing company, or they reach out to you, more than a true licensing company, not one that is pretending to be one, a true one, they go find customers for you. You're not the customer. You're the artist, and there's a difference to that. There's a big difference to that. Yeah, print on demands are printing companies. They're not. They pretend to be licensing because they do. I mean, they are essentially licensing, but they're print on demand, so it's a printing company. Let me do uno más. Uno más. I hope that makes sense. It's just a matter of finding that thing that works for you. And so how do you find it? Well, the more you do it. That's why I said I like Gary Vee's approach. Keep your head down for a while and work and get better at it. And yeah, I mean, stay open to opportunities. But most of opportunities that come in the beginning when you're barely like getting that thing rolling. The first, I'm gonna say this, guys. Okay, I've been a full-time artist for 10 years now. The first 7 years of my career, all the opportunities were lies. They weren't really opportunities. Okay, just to give you an idea. And I work. It's not like I sat there and kind of kicked back. I worked. If I may not be known for my artwork, but I'm known for working. People that know me, they're like, oh, this dude works. I don't know if his artwork is any good, but he works. The first 7 years of my career was nothing but bullshit when it came to opportunities. Everybody offered me some sort of opportunity. 99% of it was bullshit. There was nothing in there. It does make sense. However, this does not mean that you cannot sell your work. I've shown plenty of artists how to sell work. Some artists that have learned how to do some of the stuff that I do, they're selling their work. I got a few artists who paint similar, or are trying to paint similar to how I paint, who sell artwork on eBay, and they're auctioning their work, and they're telling me that they're making money. And so it's not like you can't make money. You can make a career out of it. You can make some income. I'm talking about like real juicy opportunities don't come out just because you paint. They tend to come out because now you're branding. And so I've noticed that. I got offered lots of opportunities when I was starting out, and they were all pay me, and I'll give you an opportunity. The opportunities that I've been getting lately, it's more about, hey, your artwork is dope. I've been following you for some time, or my company has been looking at you or your YouTube videos for a couple of years now. We think you'd be perfect for this project or whatever. Those are the opportunities that I've been getting. And I'm like, oh shit, man, those are the result of putting my head down. Right? I'm just connecting the dots now. I'm like, oh, this is not stuff that I've been looking for. This is stuff that I've attracted, to put it in those words. Right? I've attracted this kind of stuff as a result of putting my head down and doing the work. Lots of people don't want to do the work, guys. I'm not saying it's going to take you 7 years. No, God, no. I hope not. I hope it takes a lot less. But lots of people don't want to put in the work. They want the results without the work. And it's kind of like me saying I want to go to the gym a couple of days and then look like Brad Pitt, or go to the gym a couple of years and look like Brad Pitt. I don't think it's happening, no matter how much I want it. It's a mixture of things, right? It's a mixture of things. I like how he's Brad Pitt. Let's see. Yes, it does make sense. They pay for the licenses. Yeah, they pay for the licenses. They pay you royalties and all that good stuff. It depends on the contract. A lot of people out there swear by them. I didn't, because I've noticed that the ones that I've gotten are not like the ones that I've been offered before. These are different. This seem very, very serious, right? Very serious stuff. And for me, anyways, not like the other ones that, hey, we're a little company that's making this. We think your work is going to work here. We're going to try to sell it over here. No, the ones that I've gotten are like, okay, we have this contract. I think your work is great for this. By the end of the contract, you're going to receive X amount. Depending on selling X amount, you're going to receive X amount. Based on the numbers. And it's like, holy shit, man, I like that. And then some of them I've gotten paid as soon as I send the photos. They don't even wait to get the revenue back, or no, because they're so sure, and they've done it so many times that they as soon as I send them the pictures, they send me the check. And I'm like, oh shit, I like that. What do you know about professionalartist.com? I don't know anything about that. I don't think I've even heard about it. I should probably look into it. I have no idea. But I do like saying I don't know, guys, because now you can be like, dude, that's a dude I can trust, man. If he doesn't know shit, he doesn't know shit, man. He's not gonna tell you about it. I don't know anything about that, guys. Just like in the beginning when I was telling you I don't know shit about NFTs, I still don't know shit about NFTs, but I'm learning, and so I'm becoming more burst in that topic. But when it first came out, I told everyone, I was like, dude, don't get into it just because everyone is getting into it. Go learn. The people that are getting into NFTs when it first started popping was artists who were already had an understanding, or were already participating in digital media or digital art. What it's called, the early adopters. I'm not an early adopter. I don't have an iPhone. I'm not an early adopter. I don't have Apple products. I'm not a technology person. I don't know how to code. Usually the early adopters have all of that. They know that. They have a digital, not a digital. What do I call it? They do digital art. They're usually not every single one, but usually. And so those are the people that are milking the NFTs right now. Primarily, not every single one. I know there's gonna be someone telling me, "No, Jose, that's not true. I got some money from NFTs and I don't know anything about that." Yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about most people that are getting the moolah from there are the early adopters. Just like most people that started selling art online were using the computer themselves. They were buying and buying stuff online, or they participated in forums and on and on. Those were the first people that were selling artwork online. I know that for a fact because when I got into it, again, I was not an early adopter, me like many other of my friends, and we didn't catch the first waves of eBay. We didn't catch the first waves of Google ads. By the time I tried to get into Google ads, it was too expensive. The game was way expensive. Just like a lot of you that are trying to get into Facebook ads right now, the game is really expensive right now. Or Meta ads. Dude, that dude is crazy, man. Zuckerberg's like way bananas. Yeah, the people that are trying to get into Facebook or Meta ads. If you're trying to do some Meta ads right now, you are now competing for the attention of it's a very limited attention because now by the way, I said this. Oh my God, I wish I like Gary. I had one of those Gary V moments. I was right, and I wish I had the recording of it. I know I recorded it somewhere. It's somewhere in YouTube. But I told people, if you don't jump right now and create an audience, your job is to either create a lead capture funnel, meaning getting those emails from buyers, or create an audience, either or both. But both is more expensive. But either or, at least. If you didn't do that, now you're competing with every single gallery out there because they're all doing it. And so now your attention, it's gotten from, it used to cost me 50 cents to get an email when I was doing this. A while back, I was doing this years ago on Facebook. To earn an email from a buyer used to cost me 50 cents. Now if I try to do it, I know it's at least $3 just to get a single email. And so, because now we're competing with everybody. Everybody and their dog are throwing Facebook ads. And so what does that do? Well, the audience gets smaller and the ads get more expensive because it's a bidding process. Those of you who don't know about ads is a bidding process. And so, man, I said this so many times. I told artists what you need to be doing is painting, creating artwork, getting good at that shit. A lot of people out there don't want to get good at it. They just want to start monetizing without getting good at it. Get good at that, whatever that is. Get frequent. Most importantly, get frequent. And start creating an audience. Create an audience. If you're trying to create an audience on Instagram today, it's extremely difficult to create an audience today on Instagram. The easiest, probably the simplest or easiest way to create an audience today, if you were doing something, if you're starting out, is on TikTok. But even that's losing steam. Not losing steam, but like the algorithm doesn't favor new accounts the way it did a while back. The algorithm is like, it doesn't give a shit about you anymore. As it did to new accounts, maybe, I don't know, 12, 14 months ago, a year or so ago. If you were doing TikTok videos, the algorithm was favoring you. Now if you're doing them, it means nothing. It means nothing unless you're doing something very creative or whatever. But it used to be that it just favored you just for putting content. Just like all platforms, in the beginning, the algorithm favors you when you just put content. It doesn't have to be great content. It just has to be content, because there's more eyeballs. There's more eyeballs than there is content. You understand? The audience is big, and the content is small, so more people can see your content. Now it's flipped. There's more content than there's eyeballs. When it flips, you got very little chance now to capture an audience. SEO seems to not have changed at all. Only totally saturated markets now. Yeah. Such old school tactics. Yeah, for real. But I caught some wave of that. As a matter of fact, at some point when I realized that my ad reach wasn't working anymore on Facebook, some people say, "Man, I never see your ads." That's because I'm not trying to target you. That's why you don't see my ads. When my ad reach wasn't favoring anymore, I realized that it wasn't favoring. I stopped growing my my Facebook fan page. I was growing it. I have over 20,000 Facebook fans, 21,000 Facebook fans. I stopped growing it. I could have kept growing it, but I realized it's like growing an email list. It's like growing an email list that people are not opening, and so I was like, no, I got to change this thing. I can't just, because it's expensive to grow something like that. It's not cheap. You're talking about, at the very least, you're spending about $500 a month on the low end. On the higher end, you're spending $2,000-3,000. On the low end, you're spending to grow an audience, right? To grow an audience on Facebook or something like that. And so I realized it wasn't reaching. I was boosting my post, and I realized, oh no, this is going to be more expensive. For those of you who don't know how Facebook ads work and whatnot, there's two ways of doing it. The way that I do it is not to create a sale. A lot of people out there don't do it because they're trying to create a sale. So I don't do it to create a sale. I do them to brand, for brand awareness. It's not to create a sale. I have things that I do to make sales. I don't rely on Facebook ads to make sales. I do it for branding, because branding is a long-term game. It's a slow burn. Branding, the reason why people don't run ads and whatnot is because it's a branding game for most of us. Unless you're selling something that's like, I don't know, it costs you 1 cent and you're selling it for $10 or something like that. No more than $10, maybe $5 trinkets. Then you're probably selling something using Facebook. Or you're selling pharmaceutical shit, you know, like what do they call those pills that men use with erectile dysfunction? What is it called? Those anyways, all that shit, whatever that's called, Viagra. Unless you're like selling stuff like that, then you're probably using Facebook to market direct Facebook ads and stuff like that. But if you're not, because we're selling artwork, no one's gonna click on your Facebook ad and say, oh yeah, I want to go bid on that, or I want to buy that. That's not how it works. If it does happen to you, well, let me clap. But that's not how it happens. That's not how it works. And if you're pretending that that's working, well, keep doing that. What's really happening is you're branding. No one's buying because they're clicking on your Facebook ad or Instagram ad. That's not why people buy. People buy because they trust you and like what you're doing, and it's a brand thing. The reason why we're doing it as artists is because it's a long-term game. And so it almost looks like you're just throwing money off a cliff. Like you're standing on a cliff and you're just throwing money. That's what spending ads looks like. And if you don't understand that you're in it for the long term, you're not going to want to spend because it's very expensive. Ads are very, very expensive. I encourage anyone who wants to do this game seriously to go study what an ad is. What does it actually mean? Ads are about numbers. It's a math game. It's a math game, and the only reason you keep running ads is because they're paying for themselves. They're not making you money. No ad makes you money unless you're selling deodorant on Amazon or some shit like that. But no ad is making you money.
Okay, thank you.
Especially if you're an artist. Ads don't make you money. Ads create brand awareness, which later on, if you continue doing it, might make you some money. That's the whole idea. So it's an investment. If you're an artist, an ad is an investment. It's a long-term investment. It's a very painful one because it's expensive as fuck. But you would only do it if you trust in your career and you trust in yourself. Otherwise, there's no reason to. Why would you be spending thousands of dollars every month doing that? There's no point in it because you're not making any money. There's no immediate gratification. Fire. I love that. Viagra. Probably why Facebook is rebranding, yeah. So what shall we do now? Wait for a new platform, then try to get in early. Yeah, I wouldn't wait. Go use the other platforms because it's better to have some awareness to your brand and to your artwork and whatever than none. But if you're trying to grow, it's probably going to be very difficult on any of the platforms already. Like growing on Facebook, there was a time where you could spend money and grow. I did some of that on my fan page. But like I mentioned, the algorithm, even if you're paying, it's not favoring you anymore. So what does that mean? That when I put a post, no one's watching it anymore. So what does it matter that I have 20,000 followers if no one's watching it anymore? And so the only reason I do things is not only to keep those who are there engaged, the ones that are watching, but to reach new ones. I'm constantly reaching new ones, constantly reaching new people. And I understand that. So I'm not hooked on, oh, I got 20,000 followers on Facebook. No, I'm not hooked on that because I know they're not watching it. I'm not hooked on it. It's the same reason why I stopped growing my Twitter. I was growing my, people are really excited and they go and grow their Twitter. Good for you, keep growing it. But I've been doing this for a while. I understand that growing it, it's not the end all be all. As a matter of fact, it makes no sense anymore. Not to me, it does. This is one of the reasons why I said, a lot of people say, oh man, Facebook, not having an audience on Facebook, it doesn't matter whether you have an audience or not. No, it does matter. It does matter. But if you don't have one, you don't need one. Now, if you don't have one, if you don't have an audience on Instagram, but you don't engage with people, you're fucked. You know, if you want to make some sales or whatever, you're fucked because you're not engaging with people. If you have an audience and you don't engage with people, you're also fucked. Because when you're engaging with people, at least some people are paying attention to you. Not all of the people that are following you, but some people are paying attention to you. This is one of the reasons why if I make a live out of 70,000 people that follow me, supposedly, only 20 people show up. Right? At any given time. Because people are not being reminded, they're not being engaged. And also, probably because the content sucks. But it's more than that. It's got to do more than that. It's got to do with the fact that Facebook is not, Instagram is not telling people, Jose is going to be doing a live. Go check it out. It's just not doing that. And so I understand that, and with that understanding, I do the lives, knowing that a handful of people are going to show up to the lives. And that's okay. I can live with that. I'm a big boy. I can take that. Great looking painting. Thank you so much, Chris. Yeah. Let's see. I'm seeing a lady top right corner. Oh, I love that. That's the vision right there. I gotta sign a couple of certificates of authenticity. Give me a second. Oops. Holy shit. Let me give you a couple myself so that way you can get started with those. I hope this makes sense, my friends. There's so much to cover all the time. And again, it's because it's a career, right? It's not a sprint. It's a real journey. It's a career. Here's some, Marcel.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a career. It's not a.
I went to the Walmart instead of the Target, and look what I got. They had.
Oh, nice. So if you're looking for immediate gratification on things, you're going to sell your stuff for very cheap. Okay, I've done that before. That's how I built myself a job. But a career is not a job. Okay? So I got myself a job. Some of you are earning income as artists, you got yourself a job. You bought yourself a job. Why? Because the way to do it very quick is to sell very low. And so it's a matter of how many hours you can work. But if you want a career, that's going to be a different approach. That's a long-term approach. That's investment. I've been for years. I've been investing on my brand thousands of dollars every month without getting, zero, without getting much in return, because it's a brand thing. I want people to know, oh, the world's greatest living artist. Oh yeah, ha ha ha. Jose, world's greatest living artist. That has cost me sweat equity and an investment on my side.
You have to lean it like.
It's not
Yeah.
Dude, what happened with this thing? Well, anyways, it hasn't been cheap. It hasn't been free. It's been a lot of work. But again, if you just want to make some income, the easiest way to do it is to sell something that costs more for less. But anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. And you've earned yourself a job. All you got to do is take something that costs more, give it for less. I've said this. I have YouTube videos about it. I have lots of people doing it. I have people even painting my paintings, copycat my paintings, doing it, and they earn a living. They've told me, dude, I've been earning a living by copying your work or by painting like you, or because it's the easiest way of doing it. It's the simplest. It's the easiest. But it does not mean that that's going to be a career. That means that that's you can earn some money. A career now, it's something you're gonna have to really put in something else other than just labor. Just I'm gonna show up and paint. You're gonna have to make some moves. You're gonna have to make some investments. You're gonna have to grow an audience. You're gonna have to create marketing tactics and on and on and on and on, and that's the beauty of this career. It's expansive. You can start out by getting a painting, doing some of the stuff that Jose has done, putting it on eBay, start it at $1, and then see where it goes, getting a few dollars here and there, and then if you can do that enough, you start getting some income coming in. Go and sell some commissions, but it's got to be for less, right? Why is it for less? Because no one cares about your work when you're starting. Unless you have a lot of talent and a lot of skill, which most people don't. They're gonna want it for less. They're gonna want it for less. It's the way. It's the way to a quick buck, but it is not the way to a long-term career. And so I've been very blessed to be able to do this and to share my experiences with other artists and get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. Lots of artists are getting their ball rolling. There's a video on YouTube. There's many videos on YouTube where I explain in detail how you can start selling some artwork. It's not difficult. As a matter of fact, I laugh often and I say, if you're not selling 6 figures as an artist, you've been missing out on my videos. Every artist should be selling at least 6 figures. Now, earning 6 figures is different, but you can be selling at least 6 figures. Yeah. For sure.
I was like, yeah.
For real, huh? Earning six figures is different. But you can sell them. You can sell six figures and you can keep some of that money. Now, if you're going to start thinking about running ads, hiring people, well, those six figures are going to turn into nothing, right? But if you keep doing everything yourself, then you got yourself a job, right? You can be a full-time painter.
I have to jump on a call.
And I love that. See, that's art. There you go. Thanks to Jose, I'm earning six figures. There you have it, dude. Nas is a cool dude. This dude's in. You're in England, right? I think you're in England. So you're earning some of them good six figures. You're earning those pounds, man. They ain't dollars, dude. You're earning pounds. You're earning some of that Queen's money, man. I love that. Some of that sterling silver, dude. Hey, can I borrow some money, Nas? I'm just joking. Hey, lend me a couple of G's, man. Come on. Didn't see you, man. Thanks for your sharing these topics. We need the therapy. I love that. Aaron says, boy, I need to learn the marketing aspect. There's tons of info out there on marketing by different people. A lot of people freely give marketing advice. It doesn't mean that the advice is any good. I think most of the people giving marketing advice are not earning anything, or hardly anything. I didn't start giving marketing advice until I started selling about $500,000 a year. It's when I was like, maybe I can start giving some marketing advice on selling artwork. This was years ago. This was about 5 years ago. 5 or 6, no more. I don't know. It's when I was like, maybe I can give some marketing advice. But most people giving marketing advice, I'd be careful, right? Just make sure that they're actually do a little bit of homework, you know. Watch the videos, pay attention, make sure that you're looking at someone who's actually producing and not just producing words. Lots of people are just producing words. Sometimes I'm working, so I can't watch but Instagram tells me almost every day that you're on. I love that. Amy, thank you. So there it is. Love the speeds. Great session. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, guys. Tiago says pounds and Brexit. Look at that. Let's see. Nas says my problem is I need to stop wasting money. Low. You got my type of problem, dude. That's so British, man. All right, guys, stay well and sophisticated. I'm gonna rest my phone. Let's see if I can save this live. Cafecito time. I got a little piece of bread here and a little cafecito, and I'll get back to you guys, and we'll do another kick-ass session. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me, putting up with my craziness. It's good stuff, guys. I mean well. Sometimes I'm a little rough on the edges, but it's because that's I gotta be that way, you know.
I always say I'm a rose with a lot of thorns.
Oh yeah, my wife says she's a rose with a lot of thorns. I think I'm a rose with a lot of thorns and a splash of gasoline. You're the best. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna rest this phone and I'll be back and do another session. Thank you, everyone. Stay well and sophisticated. Peace out.